And what happens at Chinese New Year? It's like thousands of people come.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Is this working? All right. Let me start by thanking everyone for coming out today. As everyone knows, there are several city agencies, there are several community groups, and obviously our city family and the leadership is out here today. Every Chinese New Year, all the departments, they all get together and we all work very hard in making sure that the Chinatown area is clean, is free from graffiti, that all the merchants are educated about our ordinances. And this year, we are going to do something special and something a little bit different. We have been working with the Stockton Street Merchants Association, the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, and many of the associations here to come up with a very, very great idea to make walking much easier, but also to make buying merchandise and enjoying the Chinatown much, much more easier, and hopefully also allow the bus to run smoothly while these activities are going on. Without further delay, I would like to introduce our mayor, who is no stranger to Chinatown and who is really the spearheading this idea. Thank you. Mayor Edley.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Well, let's see if everybody can occupy the parking space here, because what I'm noticing is that exactly what we want to do is make sure people use the sidewalks as much as possible. But I know that, well, first of all, Happy New Year, everyone. And I know that as we celebrate the traditional New Year, what I have been used to for so many years is as soon as I'm finished with one New Year's, I get ready for the next one. And the reason is because Chinese New Year's is also a huge, huge, big celebration, not only in Chinatown, but all over this city. And this city really makes a lot of money with a lot of tourists that come in to celebrate the Chinese New Year as well. And as Mohammed said, and I want to thank him and Department of Public Works, because they've already started. In fact, I think a few days ago, you're already cleaning up the big gate down there and the graffiti and helping out with not only the merchants, with private property owners, with the businesses here to clean up, because one of the things that is part of the tradition, and it's already happening in my own house, is that I've got to clean up my yard, I got to clean my kitchen, my bedroom, my living room before Chinese New Year comes. That's what Nita told me. And that's the same thing with literally every Chinese family, every Chinese-owned businesses. But also beyond that, I think this culture is spreading that a lot of just non-Asian families are doing the same thing, whether it's their friends in North Beach or people here in Chinatown. In talking with the merchants all over Chinatown, and Chinese Chamber, the Stockton Street Merchants, the Chinatown Merchant Association, we wanted to capture a little bit maybe more improvement this year on pedestrian safety. And there was an idea that was created and talked about for several weeks, where it began by a few years ago when I was Public Works Director, that we expanded some of the sidewalks here for the benefit of pedestrian safety. And we worked very closely with Bond's group at the Traffic Division of MTA. We worked with our health department. We worked with the Chinatown neighborhood groups and the businesses to expand those sidewalks, and it's actually become quite a positive thing. Then we had Sunday Streets this past year in the summer, where we literally took over Grand Avenue, and that became a very positive thing. And in fact, we started the first ping pong tournament in Chinatown as a result. More and more, there's been an interest that more of the sidewalks and potentially maybe even a strip of the parking area be taken over with more pedestrian and maybe shared with the merchants in the area. So we began this collaboration through the mayor's office with the collaboration of all the Chinatown merchants groups, the Chamber of Commerce, the Merchants Association, the Stockton Street merchants in particular, who are standing behind me, as well as the Family Association, and then certainly with Supervisor David Chu and his staff, in thinking through what we could do to enhance the time period where it's most busy. And we determined, with the participation of our police department, our health department, our traffic division of MTA, and DPW, and all the other agencies associated with our city administrator's office. I know acting administrator here, Naomi Kelly's here today to participate as well, that the 10 days before Chinese New Year's is really the most impactful. We have a lot of families here, not only eating but buying all the kinds of things that they need to do to get ready. And so in collaboration with all the agencies, and in particular our public safety agencies, we felt we wanted to try something out here. And so what we've determined is that from Sacramento Street through to Broadway, and I believe there's a couple of blocks on Grand Avenue as well that we also determined that were very impacted, that we would take an opportunity to announce and develop a pilot program where the parking spaces would then be occupied by a shared use of both pedestrians and merchants, and to see if we can do that in a safe way, that we would allow ourselves to enhance it, because quite candidly, in my observations, and I know it's shared by several others, if we didn't occupy it with that, it would be occupied by both cars, but a lot of delivery trucks all day long and maybe all night long. And instead, to maybe enhance this, and this is where discussions with Rose and Pius and Benny came in fruition, that we would enhance the ability to have pedestrians use that more and to have the merchants help a little bit as well, so that they could have a little bit more room, bring out a lot of more of the merchandise that would be sold there, and then still have the sidewalks to welcome in families, to have a safe pathway for all of them, and keep everybody within that safety zone. So we're going to do that as a pilot program this year. And again, I want to really thank everybody working together, because it's all the neighborhood agencies working under the leadership with Public Works, working with our police department and their footbeat patrols that are out here, and they see what happens every day. We do not want anybody to get into the streets at all. Right, Commander and Captain? Because it's their safety that is really the preeminent thing that we want to do, while we try to enhance the family experience in Chinatown and welcome in a little bit more business, and have that positive experience. And if it works, or if we need to tweak it, we'll do more of that. Rose and Benny and Pius, and we'll work with everybody to enhance it. But I think this is worth trying. I think it's time that we do this, and it'll begin this Saturday, the 14th. It will last through next Sunday, the 22nd. It's really 8 short days, but it's one that I think it's a welcoming thing for everybody that will increase the participation and I think increase the businesses. And I know that while the tourist business has increased in this last year in the city, certain pockets of our city have not experienced as much as other pockets of the city. And so this is yet another way we can do it. I know North Beach had some special needs. We can pay attention to that in the very near future. There are other pockets, but this is part of what I wanted to do, was pay attention to the merchant corridors, hear what they have to say, respond in a positive way, and experience and experiment with ideas that innovate with our merchants to try to enhance their abilities to make a little bit more and also help with the cultural theme. This year is the year of the dragon. And if you know anything about the dragon, you know that the dragon is kind of like the big leader of all of the zodiac animals. They're fearless. They have the big dragon breath, the fire breath. And so they're not fearful of past things. They want to just thrust through some new ideas. And I think that's what we want to do boldly this year, is kind of use the spirit of the dragon to say, let's do some new ideas. Let's be bold about it. And let's do something that enhances the cultural theme in Chinatown as well. And so we decided to do this. We believe we have the support of all of the residents, as long as they said their preeminent thing was that pedestrian safety would be the number one thing. And so we've done that. We've reflected in it. And again, I want to thank this very balanced approach that DPW has had with everybody's cooperation. And all of the inspectors will be here. We will have some additional monitors here to make sure that safety is preeminent, but at the same time to gauge the participation of everybody. And I do believe with everybody's help, this will be a positive thing. And particularly, I want to thank the merchants because they were bold enough to say, Ed Lee, let's try something a little different. Supervisor Chu, he is responsible for what happens in this district, so we engaged him very early and want to thank him for his leadership in helping to support this, but also helping to lead it as well. And we'll be working very closely with him as he gets feedback from everybody on this experience. So I want to begin with that, and Supervisor Chu, please.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Happy New Year and Happy Chinese New Year, 2 weeks ahead of time. One of the most amazing aspects of, I think, one of the most special holidays that we celebrate here in San Francisco is that Chinese New Year's really brings folks together. And I want to thank everyone who was part of making this great announcement possible. Our city agencies who are here, the MTA, our San Francisco Police Department, DPW, our city administrator, and of course I have to thank our mayor, Mayor Lee. Mayor Lee had first spoken to me about this in, I think, our first meeting right after the election. We both wanted to move forward and on ideas that would really help to revitalize not just our merchant quarters and job creation, but make sure that Chinatown remains the very special capital of the Chinese American community that it is. I think this announcement is also very special because we are talking about how we use our streets in a way that build community. San Francisco in recent years has really been on the forefront of taking back our streets for our families, for our children, for our seniors. And just like Partlets, just like Sunday Streets, I think that what we are experimenting with this pilot project will be another step in that direction. And we're also talking about making the Chinese New Year experience, I think, more authentic, more like what we understand Chinese New Year's to be celebrated throughout the world. I want to take a moment and thank all the community leaders who are here from all of the Chinese merchant associations, our Chinese chambers, our family associations, our nonprofit organizations. This is what San Francisco should be about, coming together to celebrate times that are good for San Francisco. So congratulations, and again, Happy New Year.
Okay, that's good, yeah. So as you heard the mayor and Supervisor Chu say, it's all of us coming together, and one of the key partners in making sure that this project is successful is the SFMTA, and I will have Bond Yi and Jerry Robinson come and give you a few tips on what to look for. Drive slowly.
Mayor Lee, President Chu, and everyone. On behalf of all my colleagues at the SFMTA, we're very pleased to be partnering with all the other city agencies as well as the community to bring forth this pilot. In addition to enhancing the pedestrian experience, we've done quite a bit on Stockton Street, including the pedestrian scramble signals recently. And in addition to enhancing that experience through this pilot, one of our primary goals is to make sure that at the same time, the traffic and the transit continue to operate satisfactorily throughout this corridor. So for that to happen, we'll need everyone's cooperation, and I think the best tool is self-compliance and cooperation. So, and I'm sure that will be the case, and I'm really looking forward to this pilot being impactful, beneficial, and ultimately successful. Thank you.
Another partner to make sure that while you're shopping, it's safe is our finest police department, Commander Rich Correa and Captain Takini. Would you come up and say a few words, please?
I hadn't prepared to come up, but I can tell you we're just delighted at the notion of wider sidewalks. It's good for business, it's good for safety. Captain Takini and I walked up here, and I moved one double parked car along the way and led the bus through the intersection. And I said, well, let's take the bus up, and we realized it was faster to walk. One thing that we did also is we cut into the street a lot because of all the crowded sidewalks. Wider sidewalks are good, and we're most happy in working with MTA on the issue of deliveries early and late, so not during the day. So I see this as it's going to be good for traffic, good for business, and good for pedestrians. And I'd also like to say at the Richmond station where I was several years ago, I thought up something like this, and I was told everywhere it was too complicated, forget about it. So I commend you guys. I'm sort of speechless, and that doesn't happen to me very often. So thank you. Thanks, Mohammed.
Okay, as the mayor said, this idea was being worked on over the last few weeks, and it took quite a number of meetings. It took quite a bit of organizing. Some agreements were being made, and exactly how this was going to work. And one of the neighborhood groups that we worked with, led by Pius Lee and Commissioner Yee. So I'll have them say a few words.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Ed Lee, Supervisor Chiu, President of Board of Supervisors, Director Mohammed Nulu, Presiding President of Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association, Commissioner Thomas Ng, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Chinatown Neighborhood Association and the merchants on Stockton Street, we want to thank you, Mayor Ed Lee, President of the Board of Supervisors David Chiu, DPW Director Mohammed Nulu, Bureau Chief Jelly Sanjunanetti, and Commissioner Benny Yee for all their support for making the Chinese traditional sidewalk merchandise display a pilot program, a reality 9 days before the Chinese Lunar New Year, starting from January 14 to January 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. As we all know that the the sidewalk between Broadway to Sacramento Street on Stockton is only 9.5 feet wide. It will be too congested for pedestrians to walk through the area. Therefore, we recommend to Mayor Ed Lee to use the parking space to display the merchandise in the parking area so that pedestrians will be able to walk through the sidewalk area. We are happy to report to you all that Mayor Ed Lee accepts the Stockton Street merchant request. I have been saying to all my friends for many times that the people of San Francisco is so lucky to elect Ed Lee as our mayor because he's not a politician, but a public servant. Mayor Lee has served the people of San Francisco for 22 years in 5 different city departments under 4 mayors. Mayor Lee understands the Chinese community problem and is ready to offer his assistance. This pilot program is one of the examples. We are proud and honored to be one of the supporters of this program and to be sponsor this pilot program as permittee and agent for the Stockton Street merchant under the DPW permit. Again, thank you very much, Mayor, and all the supporters. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, everyone. First of all, this is the year of the dragon. I'm sorry that I almost forgot. Can you imagine what is going to happen during the year of 2012? We have a historic mayor, been there as appointed first Chinese American, as the biggest mayor in the whole world, in my opinion. But now he got elected by the people of this city as the first Asian American elected mayor. Now make us all proud during this year. Should we all give our good mayor, a wonderful mayor, a 22-year experience in the city government, a big round of applause. Now, as I said it many times during that several events that I was involved, and you're going to see the history continue be making by our great mayor in this next 4 year and 8 year and beyond, believe me. Now, our mayor has already shown his leadership ability to all of you. What he has done in the past, I don't have to repeat what he has done. You have your own judgment. And he is innovative mayor. He is visionary mayor. He has done everything for us. Not only Chinese American, but the city in every part that is involved. Now, we are so grateful that Mayor, together with our President of the Board of Supervisors, approved this project program that we started, Pius and I, talking about maybe 3 weeks ago. Now, can you imagine within the short time, 3 weeks, and Department of Public Works, under the leadership of Director Mohammed Nuro, in 1 week and work out all these things. As a matter of fact, last night we had a meeting from 6 to 8. We completed. This is the detailed plan how we're going to handle this 9 days celebration of the merchant fair. Now, this is something we got to give it credit to all the Department of Public Works under his leadership, Mr. Nuro. And of course, his assistant, Jerry Sanguinetti, the bureau chief, that he should get the credit as well. I don't know where he is today. But anyway, Jerry, thanks so much for your great help. Now, also, don't overlook the senior health supervisor, Lisa O'Malley, been spending a lot of time with us. I wonder Lisa is here today. But also, Lisa, thank you so much. And also the MTA and the other different departments involved, and police departments, the captain, so on and so on. So therefore, I want to say this year will be a good year, and thereafter as well, under the leadership of our Mayor Ed Lee. Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Okay, so I've been working for the Department of Public Works for over 11 years. And when I took this job, I worked with Mayor Ed Lee. But someone who has mentored me, who has guided me, who has given me advice, and frankly, being able to get to where I am, is the next person that I'm going to introduce. They're also a partner in this, and they have done a lot of work with DPW. I've had the opportunity to travel to other countries to see how public works and how cities are being kept clean and green. Mrs. Rose Pack.
Well, I'm not very good at clapping hands. I'm very good at kicking behinds and to get things done. But, the thing about Mohammed Nuru and our mayor and our leadership in the city right now is that they're willing to listen. And I've always advocated that the community comes together when there's a good idea. When it's a bad idea, I'm the first one. I don't care who you are. I'll object to it. And this idea of displaying the sidewalk, as the mayor mentioned, really started 11 years ago when he was at DPW. At that point, the city, under Weissman, remember, of the city attorney and everybody, that it was too cumbersome, it was too difficult. The liability was too prohibitive. And I was so happy when this mayor cut through all that bullshit and came up with this idea, accepted this idea and expanded it and worked with different departments. It is a pilot program that will be a minimum cost. And I said again and again, when something we try new and it incurs some additional cost, the community should step forward to assume the responsibility, so they have those rider insurance policies, so it shouldn't cost that much. And I call up, Tommy Yang, David Wong, and the other associations, and I said, let's all step forward and share the cost of that insurance policy. It would only cost you a few $100s for 8 or 9 days, so that it be a real meaningful community effort. And I hope this will continue to last and expand. The mayor, taking the cue from our previous Mayor Willie Brown, opens up a big tent. He is a very forgiving person, not me. If you're under me, I'll kick your butt before I'll, get to work with you. But Mayor Lee giving us a new leadership, and we should all follow. Thank you.
So a couple people I'd like to thank. One of our main partners, Recology, who is here. They will be picking up garbage on time and making sure that the area is restored back to normal every day. The pilot itself runs from 9 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock in the evening. And so, so during that period,
From 10 to 6, otherwise
okay,
the
10,
merchants will
10 to 6 is when the merchants will be out there. Between 9 and 10 is the preparation time, and between 6 and 7 is the cleanup time. And we will be putting out some barricades along the parking strips, so all pedestrians will be within the sidewalk. Nobody will be allowed on the street unless you are crossing the street at an intersection. Okay, and the police have that information, and the SFMTA also have that information, because we have promised to allow the buses to run on time, and there will be nobody stopping or impeding the travel of vehicles. Other people I would like to thank is our Deputy Director for Engineering, Fuad Suisse. He's here, please. He's been very helpful. Our City Administrator, Naomi Kelly, who someone I've been working with for many years, and we're working closer now. And then all the community groups from Chinatown, I want to thank you all. It's been a great working relationship, and I know there's a lot more work that we'll do together. And we'll be here cleaning out graffiti, making sure everything is clean. We'll be washing the tunnels in the next few days, and we'll be doing more work. So I want to thank everyone for coming out today, and happy Year of the Dragon. Thank you.